Bob the Drag Queen and Sharon Needles. Bob the Drag Queen competed on Season 8 of Drag Race and was the winner. Sharon Needles competed on Season 4 of Drag Race and was also the winner. Over the years, Sharon has become quite a controversial queen for things such as racism, alleged abusive behaviour with an underage fan, and other problematic behaviour. I did do a video a while ago about all of the controversies about Sharon Needles, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already, and I'll put a link in the description. Several Drag Race queens have made accusations against Sharon over the years, and Bob is one of them. A YouTube channel called Bob the Drag Queen Videos made a compilation video a few years ago about many of the times Bob has spoken about Sharon. And for example, on the Sibling Rivalry podcast in 2018, Bob said that it is, quote, no secret that Sharon uses the N-word a lot, and has also signed fans' autographs with the N-word. Bob also said that she has been cool with Sharon in the past, but she doesn't agree with what Sharon does. Bob and Monet also shared several other stories about Sharon over the years, such as once at a meet and greet, Sharon apparently yelled at one of her fans because they had told Sharon that they tried to end their own life, and Sharon told all of her fans not to tell her stories like that right before she was about to go on stage. There was also another time that Sharon was in the airport with Kim Chi, and she chased Kim into the Gucci store and shouted that they should shoplift something, and she picked up a shoe from the rack. And Kim was really uncomfortable and was trying to get away. Apparently one of the staff members at the store then threatened to call the police, and Sharon ran out. And Bob and Monet said that Sharon is, quote, a little crazy. Bob also said that Sharon was part of the House of Haunt, and said that it is a, quote, very problematic group of people. And one of the rumours is that one of the members of the house burned down someone's house because they were feuding, and apparently they got blacklisted from events, and Sharon has been boycotted and is not allowed to be booked in several cities because of her behaviour. Bob later said in a 2022 Sibling Rivalry live Patreon exclusive video that she kind of hates that she had previously rooted for Sharon, and it, quote, grosses her out. And Bob and Monet have been quite open about them disagreeing with Sharon and her behaviour over the years. However, they haven't said much about it in recent years. However, on a recent podcast of Sibling Rivalry, when Trinity the Tuck was a guest, Trinity asked Bob if there are any queens that she hates. Bob said that there are girls that she won't work with, and she said, quote, I won't work with Sharon Needles. Trinity joked that that was a pageant answer, because Sharon is a queen who a lot of people won't work with. Bob explained that she has worked with Sharon in the past, and the last time she worked with her was for a Christmas tour. Trinity said that if it was a Christmas tour, it must have been a while ago, and that would have been before Sharon got cancelled. And Trinity asked what the reason was at that time that Bob won't work with Sharon anymore. Bob explained that Sharon thinks that she is being, quote, transgressive when she tries to dismantle systems that have nothing to do with her. Bob went on to say that Sharon says racist stuff and she, quote, uses and drinks a lot, and it's really hard to be around her. And she would come in and cause chaos at 3 o'clock in the morning on the tour bus when everyone was asleep. And then she'd wake up and want to physically fight people. And Bob ended by saying that it was, quote, insane and rough. Bob doesn't seem to have said any more about Sharon since then, but it seems pretty clear that Bob won't work with Sharon and has called out a lot of her problematic behaviour in the past and also recently. And I don't believe Sharon has addressed these claims in recent years. But there have been times in the past where Sharon was confronted about her use of racist language. For example, in an interview with The Georgia Voice in 2022, Sharon was asked about her use of the N-word and if she would stop using it. Sharon didn't seem to think that it was a problem, and she was explaining why she thinks it's okay for her to use that word. And at one point, one of the interviewers walked out of the room, seemingly in frustration. Sharon said she felt like the tone of the interview was attacking her, and she later started crying when the interviewer asked Sharon what she wanted to say to the protesters that might be outside her show. So in general, it looks like Bob does not have a relationship with Sharon Needles and will not work with her again. and Bob does not appear to be following Sharon on Instagram, but Sharon is following Bob.